Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for January the 8th through the 14th, 2024. So, as we begin this reading, I would first like to thank everyone for returning to this weekly series and to also welcome anyone who is new to our Angelic Wisdom community. Just a few reminders. First of all, make sure that you are subscribed, select the all notification bell, and like or dislike, and leave your comments. If during the course of this video you feel compelled or called to have an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. Also, if you'd like to support my channel with a donation, you can select my PayPal me link for Angelic Wisdom. All of these you can find in the description area below this video. Also, if you haven't seen the general monthly angel reading for January 2024, that will be the first link that you will see in the description area below. So make sure you check that out. And over the weekend, I will be working on the annual yearly reading. I'm definitely not going to go through each month because I don't find that useful. But you've already probably heard in some of the reading, I think last week's readings, the sort of the energy for this year. So it will probably be something similar to this, but a spread that might just give us more insights to that. So now let's just take a moment to think about, as you know, I'm going to be sort of indoctrinating myself in a self-study with astrology. So I've started with the access point for me is Yasmin Bolan's Moonology Diary for 2024. And I'd had her Moonology book for a long time on ebook, so I I just started reading it. And I'm like that. I'm very slow to get into things that I need to get to, but I always find that it all happens at the right moment when you're really ready to absorb something. So for this week, there are a couple of things I just want to sort of make us aware of, which I will try to include when my understanding is clear. It's never going to be clear. So any astrologers out there, you're free to leave comments and add any other clarity that you think might be useful. So one is in this coming week, it will be the new moon in Capricorn. And she was noting that since it's the last one, well, before the planet Pluto makes its transition into Aquarius, which is, Aquarius is a humanitarian sort of sign. And Pluto, this has not happened since the 1700s. So, and this is Pluto's going to be in Aquarius from now until some say 2043 and some say 2044. But what's significant about it and what sticks out in my mind is when I was reading this, how in that time period, we had an American Revolution, a French Revolution, etc. So this means like this energy is going to bring sort of, it's basically bringing the underdogs to the top, right? So it's sort of scripture, and I had a Bach aria that I sang. Um, well, basically, every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill made low. And so this energy is really sort of aligning with all of the ascension talk that I've been sharing with you and others have been sharing with you, and that we're all sensing, right? And that the new golden future that's being talked about so much. And so this kind of really astrologically reveals all the ways that this, because of this energy, that this is going to be possible. And so we've seen it happen hundreds of years ago. And so this is one of the reasons why we should have great hope during this time period. And it really matters most what we do inwardly. So there is a great desire on a personal level as well as a global level to try to change everything and everybody around you. But you're missing the miracle when, or the magic of it all, when you, in trying to put all your attention and energy to correcting what's going on outside of you, that you do not understand that the real access or initiation or activation for change is the change that you initiate within yourself. When you decide to become a peacemaker, when you make peace with your inner reality, when you find balance, harmony, alignment, and integrity within the universe, the outer universe, the outer reality must comply. So, really, this movement, first of all, of planetary peace and a golden age, a higher frequency planet, leaders who are heart based and compassionate, starts with the activation of each one of us, one at a time. Because once you turn on your light and you are activated, you now can activate others without saying much. It is the example, it is the compelling example that you are radiating that causes people around you to take a pause, where you still their breath, so to speak, and they fall in love with the alignment, the integrity, the compassion, the peace that you are emanating. So, this energy too is also directing us, and so is you, this new moon energy in Capricorn, which is really going to highlight, you know, with this Aquarius, Pluto Aquarius energy, is going to bring out, it's going to so basically, it's going to, first of all, reverse any sort of selfish desires. And it's going to sort of thrust you into humanitarian desires, service, that it's going to really cause you to really come from the heart and to really think about your gifts. You know, so let me give you this example. So often we get stuck, and I think I may have written about this, or it may be coming out. You know, perfectionism, and we get held back. We have these things we want to offer, But what ends up happening rather, is that the ego starts to attack you. Now, what you're doing is for others, and as well as for yourself. But the ego attacks you with harsh criticism, and then it becomes all about you. Even the idea of perfection, it becomes all about you, when in actuality, it's never just about you. And you can't control. That's the piece that the ego is using against you, because, like right now, I can't control how these messages are going to impact you. While at the same time, I cannot be thinking, oh, I better not say that, or I better just keep quiet. Oh, what's going to happen if I say that? Right? Because then nobody gets anything. So the best example of this is the very first time after doing the daily card messages writing, I had an experience where I looked at it and I'm like, what the hell am I saying? Like, what is this? And even the ones that when I wrote them, I liked, when I look back at them, I don't know who that is. I'm like, is that me? And so, but getting back to the real point is that, so I decided, it was already late. It was supposed to have been published at 4 o'clock. That's usually when I do it. I just choose the 4 for the angels hour, and 2 on Sunday. And so it already passed. Now it's like, you know, like late night. And I decided, I'm sorry. I'm just not doing this. I've had enough. I'm going to bed. This is not going to happen. I'll choose another day and I'll write. But I woke up in the morning early, like 3 a.m., and I had a sense of my mother, and it was this mist in the room. And she wrote to me to publish it, that it was ready. And because my mind was a little refreshed, I looked at it. I wasn't pleased, but then I thought, well, maybe it's not as bad. And I published it. And it was a writing that got so many responses about it. And so I learned it wasn't about me and my stuff and my insecurities. It wasn't for just me, it was for everybody else. And so this is the kind of thing that Pluto and Aquarius energy, and also when you're thinking about what intention you want to set for this new moon, moon. I don't know what moan means. Maybe we're gonna, that inner moaning that we do, moaning and groaning. Maybe this is the new moon, where hopefully now you take the time before January 11th, which is the day of the new moon. The new moon. Uh-oh, there it goes again. Um, I think it really is. They're trying to say, you know, this. There's something you've been wanting to do, career, some kind of humanitarian goal, and something just keeps getting in your way, and you just moan and groan. Somebody will mention it and you kind of moan and groan because it's like you don't want to get off the couch and do it because you're afraid. Not because you're not capable, you're just afraid of what everybody else's reaction is going to be. And you've conjured it up in your mind that it's going to be that way. And it's really not. But nobody can convince you but you. Why? Because you're the one that created that nightmare. Nobody else. Not the universe, and not the people who will receive it. You just believe that. That's an illusion to keep you from doing that. And then it keeps you in that cycle of feeling like you're not good enough or not successful enough. And I've set an intention for myself when I'm working in this pre-new moon phase, um, to release like this kind of judgment. So this deck that we're using today, which I forgot to announce, is the Wild Unknown, which you've probably seen in the two daily messages that I've written so far. The first card was the card I didn't want to ever come out, and there might be a few other ones. And the first shuffle, there it is. Yes. So I reneged on my intention. I put it back, shuffled again, came back out. So I went with it. And I just said, hey, this is what it is. I'm just, this is my thing this from now on. I'm just going with it. Because one of the things that's interesting that I realize is that by not trusting my instincts for myself personally, it makes it difficult for me to be as wise as I am for you for myself. And so I want to put it into that. Um, and that means that I have to show up for me to show up better for the world. But it's really a personal thing for me. And so this is the moaning and groaning of this that's coming up with this new moon. Because you're probably already sensing having a sense of more clarity about what it is you want to do, but this piece, you have to get past it, this judgment, self-judgment. So if you haven't done releasing, which you can do in the waning moon cycle, do that. Release, surrender, so you can move forward. I did a burning ceremony. I wrote down everything from last year that I wanted to leave behind. And then what do I want? I think the intentions that I wanted to put out there moving forward. And so it was very healing. I'm actually shooting this all of a sudden the day before my mom's, on the 3rd of January, hand, my right hand, my right thumb, I didn't injure it. I've been trying to rack my brain to think about, because if I did something this horrible, and it should have created pain at the moment, but it just came on. And when I asked the angels, they showed me the water element sign, upside down triangle, and it meant that it was emotional. So I've been, one of the things, it got better last night. So I've had two dreams where my mother and my grandmother and a lot of that energy was coming up. They were really important to me, and great losses, and two of the great losses, but all of my relatives, I have a very, I think our family, we just have this really deep connection with each other, bond, even though, like all families, you say what you say, you do what you do, but we have a hard time parting, even if it's death or just, or, going back to our homes. We just always have hard time parting from each other. So, but last night, um, when I initially asked Archangel Raphael, remember I was talking about we have to, face things, and we can't use spiritual tricks or any kind of tricks or ego tricks. And at first, Archangel Raphael, when I called upon him, was like, "No, I can't help you with this," and he just said it's for the best. And so the work that I did do, which came immediately, the morning of the 4th, then I realized after the dream, oh my God, it's my mother's anniversary, um, death date of 9 years, and I had forgotten it. And in the dream, I was crying, and then um, I started. It also caused me to remember some of my own abilities to heal myself, right? And I was trying to remember this morning something that happened, but eventually I was assisted. What Archangel Raphael showed me was that I could send gratitude. Because not being able, that was the one thing I kept noticing, all the things I couldn't do because of my thumb, my right thumb. And last night when I sent gratitude and just all the ways that, I've not acknowledged how any part of my body, what it does for me. And when I woke up, and I, of course, taking a painkiller to put some icy, but when I woke up, um, the 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 only place that still bothered me is in this area of the hand here, but the joints up here were so tender, and that's gone away. And so it's that work that we need to do. And so this is also a time, the waning cycle, to give gratitude, forgiveness, release, surrender. So I had to surrender too. I didn't want to be like this, and I was doing all kinds of things in my head, trying to get myself all in alignment. And what it really was just let it go, and then allow the insights and the clarity to come so that you can move forward. But all of this to set us up for really opening up to our gifts and moving into an activation period where we start to use our true spiritual gifts, whatever that means. And it just doesn't mean sort of, I'm just going to use this word, magic or sorcery, or uh, white sorcery, any of that. It really, it could be what you do. It could be a handcraft or a product. It could be anything that gives you joy, because anything that gives you joy aligns you with the integrity of your authentic, pure, true self, and activates oneness consciousness. So really be just aware of these opportunities that are going to be happening for us in 2024. The challenges, like this challenge, as the Archangel Raphael showed me, is preparing me for another challenge that will occur in this month. But it's all about now how we show up for it, not carrying. So there's another piece, and I wrote about it. I think if it didn't come out today, it'll come out on Monday, about legacy and past lives and our past history. Doesn't matter which one. We're carrying so much, our ancestral karma, etc. It's our inheritance. But like any inheritance that is given to you, it's up to you how you use it. You don't have to just continue what was done. And when we allow our own personal pain to dictate who we are today and who we can become, then you're missing out on a really magical experience, because you can create your reality. You can, this is what my grandmother used to say, take what you got, take what you got. Whatever you've been handed or whatever you feel stuck with, but take what you got and make what you want of that. And that is an inherent ability and blessing that we all have. So something like this happening to me, or anything that happens to us, it is helping us to bring out, you've heard me say it so many times, it's provoking your light, your true self to the surface. Don't fight it. Don't blame it, but game it, so to speak. Use it. Use it to, retell, take your history and turn it into a history of wisdom. And that's alchemizing your past, turning lead into gold, right? Turning lemons into lemonade. And there is where the heart of your purpose and your humanitarian services begins and ends, really. This is where you start contributing. All right, so let's take a look at the Archangel that we're working with this week. Great. So now when I saw that heart, I thought it was going to be Archangel Shamiel, but it's your guardian angel. And this is important because this means that this era that we're entering, especially with this in this week in that astrological event of the new moon, this is your guardian angel has your blueprint, the map of the life that you of the things and goals that you wanted to accomplish. And this event and what happens to you at this time, whether it seems like it's negative or positive, is important. It is like what Archangel Raphael said, I can't help you, but it's all for the best. And whether or not it is lead or gold that you receive, the lead can be turned into gold. And that's what your guardian angel is here to remind you. And she writes, or he writes, to express. Express yourself. They wrote the word express. So express your truth. Do not, whatever it is, do not allow yourself to fall into this ego's facade. Do not try to suppress it. Do not try to cover it up. Do not try to, even if it's good, don't try to then put on that facade. You know what I'm talking about? I maybe can't find the words, but it's like we keep working with that ego, and they don't mean express hurt somebody else. They mean express, be sincere. It's the best way to say it without making it more complicated. But just be sincere. If a blessing happens to you, be sincere. You don't have to be perfect because now you have this ideal of success that looks like perfection, and now you gotta work to keep it. Like that's what happens with success or failure, but let's stay with the success. Then you end up maintaining it instead of it working for you. And then that's when fear and the need to manipulate, to control, to hoard more power, because you're not trusting the natural flow of goodness, of success that flows from the core of purity that your divinity truly represents. You don't have to do anything. You get to do, because all you have to do is receive and give from the universe, and then you get to do so many things, not have to do them. So work with your guardian angel this week as you figure out and set that intention. But it's the thing that's truly on your heart. And it's the thing that's on your heart. And if there's a little confusion around it, then stop saying, I don't know. Or stop using any words or phrases that affirm your inability. And if you can't confidently say that you do know, say instead, I think I know. I think this is what I'm being asked to do. I think this is going to be a good idea, because that is going to be sort of a neutral ground, and it'll start to feel really good to you, and you'll start to say, yeah, I know I'm going to do this. I know this is going to go well. So we have the Seven of Cups, and here again, it's that confusion piece, right? It's like you don't know which way is up or which way is down. Okay, so some of that energy we were ending the year with, and some of it is still lingering, but it just really spoke to that. in that, the sevens seem to be about, in the tarot, seem to be about examination time, right? They are waiting. Um, the Trying to think of the other sevens, things aren't quite clear. There's something shady going on. And that shadiness is usually you, right? Because we are trying to manipulate. Our thoughts are trying to figure out how to get out of something. And like the Seven of Wands is sort of like, okay, what am I going to do here? And it's because we're seeing the world against us. Like we just made it, and now the mind goes to, okay, now we got to maintain this. Just what I was talking about a little bit before. But we start making it about everybody else. So you're never going to get true clarity. You're never going to know who you are or what you want, as long as you believe that it's the outer world that you got to work with first. That in order to bring about change, you got to change the people around you. You got to move them like pieces on a game, a chessboard. No. You got to change yourself from within. If you're confused, then stop practicing confusion. Stop looking at the world as the reality when it's actually the illusion. The only truth only comes from within. Beauty lies within the eye of the beholder. And if you are not perceiving beauty, if you're not perceiving the wisdom, if you're not appreciating, or if are not practicing gratitude, everything out there is confusing, because everything inside of you is confusing. But just like when I realized that I never appreciated my thumb. All I wanted the thumb when it was like, hey, you, what's your problem? You're getting on my nerves, literally. Pain, ouch, 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 you're getting on my nerves, literally. Go away, stop doing that. Okay, now something wrong with me. What did I do? Man, I must be getting old. How could I not remember hurting myself? Blah, 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 blah. On and on and on and on. But when I just realized I needed to, when Archangel, well, I didn't realize on my own, but thank you, Archangel Raphael, for pointing out, say hello. Say, wow, I'm sorry I took you for granted. I didn't know. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The Ho'oponopono prayer, I think I said that correct. I think I still keep it in the description area below, which I'm just now remembering, but it's a whole prayer of I can't remember. I love you. Something like, please forgive me. Da da da. I love you. Thank you. Powerful prayer. And what did I see here? Oh, it was interesting because here I saw like a king of wands, an image of a king of wands, which is, just want to bring this up. They're reminding me of it now. And so it's like you're feeling control, like confused. The king of wands has total clarity and vision. So if you're confused and what you're thinking about is confusing you, then why don't you create the vision? Focus on a vision that you want to create, that you're not confused about. But that can only happen if you stop saying, I can't, or I don't, or I'm afraid that dot, 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 dot. All right, and here we have the Eight of Wands. And this is the middle of the week, probably right around the actual new moon phase. And a stroke of clarity, but it also gives us a sense of this divine intervention. And with this rainbow colored lightning bolt, it gives us a sense of an opportunity to heal, to make things better, not just for yourself. That's guaranteed if you give it what you are receiving to give fully and unashamed. All right, in an unashamed way, just give it. Don't worry about what people's reactions are going to be because you will never have control over that. What you give is something that, yes, will strike everyone in the ways that they need it. And if you only limit to what that vision that you have, in that vision that is given to you is the inspiration to you. But that vision is not given to you in full because you really couldn't conceive it all or be able to handle it all. Because everybody else out there needs something different, but they're going to get it from that which you're going to offer. And so it is a powerful, healing, revealing sort of experience, but putting it out there. So receive this sudden inspiration and don't delay in putting it out there. And know and follow the time of the moon cycle, meaning new moon, setting that intention, planting the seed, and nurturing its growth. And at the full moon, letting it come to full fruition. It might not be the completed plan, but it might be a clear direction of where things need to go. And also be willing to set it free, to trust it to be its own thing. It's like children. You shouldn't raise them to control them. You raise them to set them, to help them to be who they truly are meant to be. And you help them to discover that and give them the tools to feel safe to do that. So, interesting, the Mother of Pentacles here. And there's a sense of, with the deer, this intense instinct. I mean, she's sitting right up looking at you. And while the doe is sort of nestled next to her in total safety and comfort, right? And we see sort of the green and blues and purple, sort of the upper, from the heart chakra up on the three-dimensional chakras. And so that gives us a sense of being really spiritually connected to the earth, being really spiritually connected to whatever earth, meaning whatever career goals or financial goals or home goals. This is, if you're making changes around your home or any improvements in your physical reality, it's really being connected spiritually to this, trusting your instincts. Trusting your instincts to know how to care. The instinct of a mother, nobody really knows how to be a great parent. Most parents are scared to death. And then your instincts kick in. And you go into this practical mode. You get organized. You figure out everything that needs to be done. Your caring and compassion bonds you to an extraordinary love that enables you to do your best. right? It's never going to be perfect, but you do your best. And there are going to be challenges, there are going to be failures, and there are going to be successes in all of this. But you're clear that this is your role, your job. And just like whatever it is that you want to do to make the world or something you want to offer as a service to other, great or small, there will be challenges, there will be successes, you will fail, but you will know who you are. You'll know your role and you'll keep doing it. I always say that no matter how successful I am at doing this, whether my writings, and this is what stopped me from panicking so much about what your comments might be, um, or not, is that I know how much of a service I get from doing this, how much I grow and how much I learn. And I trust that that is impacting everyone else in the way that they need it. It makes me in, I can't think of the word, but it makes me the most confident and grounded and sort of unmovable in doing this because I trust that instinct more than I trust anything else. So we can also grow. Wow. So here comes the card that I didn't want to ever appear. And so it keeps coming back up. um, it's the Nine of Swords. And so this is the card I pulled from the bottom of the deck already. And really what it's reminding you and I of, one, the worms, worms aerate the soil. And worms are actually, according to Diana Cooper, fourth dimensional from the planet Neptune, which carries all the golden age of Lemuria and Atlantis. So very even higher evolved beings have stepped down their frequency to the fourth dimension. And when you think about aerating the soil, right, what they kind of indicate to you how you need to aerate your mind and the heart, soul of your heart. Let in some new, fresh ideas because the ones that you keep perpetuating, they're festering. And they got you bugging out and got you all in life circumstances that you're all worried up. You keep imagining the worst nightmares, and those nightmares need your belief. That's why your ego keeps cycling them, because every time you buy into it, you own it more and more and more. And yeah, then eventually you will create that. That's fact. However, you can take what your fears, transmute the lead into gold. What are you afraid of? What is that fear that keeps coming up? Is it about your body getting sick or being harmed? Is it about failing? Is it about relationships? Is it about being controlled in relationships? Is it about finding a job? Are you afraid that your boss won't like you? Are you afraid your colleagues will find you odd or weird? Whatever your fears are, that's you, your ego's insecurity, projecting that to you, keeping you low, under the radar, feeling insignificant, so that you don't open up to this Pluto Aquarius energy. Well, now the universe has orchestrated some planetary alignments to get everybody on board. And so instead of working against, work with it. Instead of letting your fears hold you back, let your fears show you where you want to move forward. What would you do if you weren't afraid? 4444 at that moment. Your angels are supporting you. You have to believe that they are there and that they're supporting you with lots of energy. And sometimes that energy might be a little combustible because of the resistance we're offering at the same time that the love that they're sharing. But it's all good. All is well. You are still loved. In my dream last night, whatever I've been working through with this thumb, the last was a song that my grandmother taught us in Sunday school or vacation Bible school. And it was, praise him, all the ye little children. God is love. It was a whole gang of children just came into the room preceding a man who had some shame about something, and he wanted to tell me about it. And as he was about to tell me, all these children just flocked into like a school house of children in this huge, it was like this mansion, a library. And sort of, it makes me think of the Akashic Records right now. And but the thing was, and I woke up and I thought about it, the universe was saying to me and everyone, God is love. The stuff that we're worried about, things that the things in our, because Pluto is about secrets. And so, think about coming out, being bold, being honest, even if it's just to yourself. That's the integrity piece. That's going to help you to really align with the integrity piece, is to be honest. Communicate with yourself honestly, and you'll stop festering confusion. But remember this, that there was an anthem that when I was a choir director, I loved it. Thou knowest, Lord, the secrets of thy heart. Shut not thy merciful ears unto our prayers. And the thing is, no matter what secrets or what things we're afraid to reveal to the world, that's a secret. I'm afraid to shine my light bright. This is what this Pluto area is bringing it out. But the message was, God is love. The universe loves you. The angels love you. And I can say it, but I think you're going to find it out in this next 20-year cycle, that you are loved. Everybody is loved, and everybody we need to give love to right now. And that was one of the things she said, the people who irritate you the most. So the people on your TV screen, stop yelling at them, stop complaining about them, stop talking to them, send them love instead. Because that is why you and I cannot be free of our own egos, because we're practicing judgment. We're practicing shaming one another. We're practicing holding people guilty. That is one of the biggest ways that we try to manipulate people and ourselves. Your own guilt and shame that you hold against yourself is your ego trying to manipulate you, saying, heal. And then you feel like you're powerless. Give up that whole trick, please, so that you can be free. Freedom is something you already have. You don't have to get it. You have it. You just have to stop manipulating yourself. This is what it means for 2024 to live in integrity. Stop the nonsense. Identify your nonsense. Like, let it be revealed to you. Whenever you feel off, whenever you feel confused with this drama, it's you. It's not the outer reality, it's you. Figure out, just acknowledge it, and then stop doing it. Simple as that. No tricks. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful week. God bless.